My name is Farah Hanoun, and I'll be hosting this brand new MMA Weekly Roundup show right here on MMA World. Tune in every Thursday for the latest headlines and news across the week. Dana White posted a video on Instagram of Oscar De La Hoya contradicting himself and lost his mind. In the video, Oscar De La Hoya says that he thinks that Conor versus Canelo would actually be a more entertaining fight than Conor Floyd.
The only fight I would love to see, and this is the one that makes the most sense, that would be the most exciting, that would be a guaranteed knockout, is Canelo Alvarez. And they're the same weight class. Two Irish fighters going up in the ring. I mean, no, Mexican and Irish. But it would be a hell of a fight.
4 months later, he says, Conor has no business fighting Floyd Mayweather, and this fight would ruin boxing. He says a guy like McGregor with no professional experience has no business being in the same ring as Floyd Mayweather.
To me, it would be disrespect for boxing if a UFC fighter who has zero experience in boxing came and fought Floyd Mayweather.
UFC 213 has landed 2 matchups as Aldo will take on Brian Camozzi. Garbrandt is coming off a disappointing loss to Gunnar Nelson, while Brian Camozzi will look to pick up his first UFC win. Also added is a bantamweight matchup between Rock Bond and Douglas Da Silva. Douglas Da Silva is coming off that incredible war with Henry Briones, where he finished with a beautiful combination that included a spinning back fist. Rock Bond is coming off a win over Matt Schnell by a TKO. UFC Mexico City lands its second fight as 10th ranked Dustin Ortiz will take on Team Alpha Male's Alex Sandoval. This card is going to be headlined by Sergio Pettis versus Brandon Moreno and will take place August 5th. UFC featherweight champion Germaine de Randamie has finally broken her silence. Her manager said she refuses to fight known and proven cheater Chris Cyborg. She is referring to Cyborg being granted a retroactive therapeutic use exemption by USADA for testing positive. Cyborg also failed a drug test back in 2011 and was suspended for a year. De Randamie also said she wants to move back down to bantamweight. She said the UFC already knew that when she signed on to fight Holly Holm. Currently, she is healing from a hand injury and will potentially be sidelined for a while. She is scheduled to have a doctor's appointment June 14th, which will determine whether or not she needs surgery. Point champion Cody Garbrandt told Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour that he's feeling good after receiving stem cell treatment in Germany. He said in a perfect world, he'd like to return July 29th, UFC 214, and defend his title against TJ Dillashaw. He doesn't want to rush things though, so for TJ, who told Dana White that he'd like to move down to flyweight and challenge Demetrius Johnson for the title, and Dana told him, I'm on board with that idea, but the champion Demetrius Johnson says TJ doesn't deserve the title shot, and he doesn't like that idea. Cody Garbrandt, when asked what he thought about that, he said, I think DJ beats TJ. TJ's too slow, I've practiced with him before, and I think TJ's too fast for him. He also said, if Dillashaw loses to Demetrius Johnson, then he lost his chance at a bantamweight title shot. He said if TJ beats Demetrius, then he'll go down to flyweight, and he'll steal that belt away from him. A key light heavyweight matchup has been added to UFC 214, as Jimmy Manuwa will take on Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir, who just fought a couple of days ago, shocked the world by knocking out Misha Serkinov in under 30 seconds. For Jimmy Manuwa, Dana White said that he wanted Jimmy Manuwa on UFC 214, whether on standby or a fight in case Daniel Cormier or John Jones were forced to pull out. Now Jimmy Manuwa has a fight for 214, and it's projected that should DC or John Jones be forced to pull out, Jimmy Manuwa will be there, he will be ready to take one of their places. As you guys know, Dana White said that Michael Bisping versus George St. Pierre is officially off. For both GSP and Bisping, they both want that fight to happen. George St. Pierre said that the UFC knew that prior to the press conference that he had an eye injury and that he couldn't compete in the summer, yet the UFC still went ahead with the press conference. Michael Bisping, upon hearing that the fight is off, said, anyway, my knee is injured, I am not ready. The UFC went ahead and booked Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero for the interim middleweight title. Michael Bisping still wants George St. Pierre, and for St. Pierre, he said that he had eye surgery, and that he's not allowed to spar until September, and probably won't be able to fight until November. For Michael Bisping, who's healing from a knee injury, November seems like a perfect date for him as well. Now with the interim middleweight title fight set, despite Dana White saying that the fight is off, we could potentially still have that middleweight title fight happen. What Dana White said previously was that George St. Pierre was going to compete for the welterweight title, not the middleweight title, so we're yet to see what will happen. George St. Pierre also said that for the first time in his career, he's actually following a diet. He told Ariel Helwani on MMA Hour that he's currently walking around at 195 to 197 pounds. He also said that if he loses, it's a one and done. He does not want to stick around for the younger guys and be a punching bag. Jose Aldo's coach Andre Pedernera spoke to Brett Okamoto of ESPN and told him that they have a plan to get to Conor McGregor. He said whether 155, 145, 170, or even boxing, he absolutely wants the Conor McGregor rematch. This is of course should he get through Max Holloway this Saturday in Rio when he looks to defend his title against interim champion Max Holloway. Alright, that's it guys. Thank you for tuning in, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button and leave a comment below if you like. I'm your host, Farah Hanoun, and see you next week.
Elite Facts present 8 scary Italian horror movies you need to watch.
I was driving down I-4 with my girl sitting back.
Hey, Morty, let me ask you a question real quick. Does evil exist? And does evil exist? And if so, can one detect and measure it? Rhetorical question, Morty. The answer is yes, you just have to be a genius. Cute. Your sister's boss gave me a microscope that would have made me retarded.
Ooh, oh boy, Rick, I don't think you're allowed to say that word, you know?
Morty, I'm not disparaging the...
Elite Facts present 8